Hey there. I have been sleeping on and off for much of the day, and I'm finally feeling up to taking a couple minutes to tell you about the crazy thing that happened to me last night. I went to bed a little later than normal because I was going through some emails, and I was up with Jeremiah because he's been itchy with his chicken pox and things, and Jason was up with James. It was just kind of one of those nights. And I finally got to bed, and about 1 a.m. I heard Jeremiah fussing again, and so that kind of woke me up, and the room was spinning. I was still laying perfectly still, and the room was spinning in the dark. I can't really describe it, only I just felt so dizzy. Ooh, there's a little thunder. I think we might have rain tonight. I was so dizzy, and I tried to sit up and just fell. I could not even sit my own body up. So I called to Jason because I was laying down on our fold-out couch at this point, since I'd been up with Jeremiah so much, and he was up with James upstairs, so we were trying to juggle all that. These chicken pox have been fun. Anyway, I called him to come to me because, like, literally, folks, I couldn't lift my own head up. It was so scary. And so anyway, things progressed. Like, over the next hour, everything just continued to spin terribly. I started like having trouble breathing in all the way. I started vomiting from the dizziness, so if I would even try to shift over on my pillow a tiny bit, it would immediately induce vomiting. So we just went back and forth with what to do. I am typically like a healthy person. I've never been to the doctor for an illness that I can think of. I've never been to the emergency room. I've certainly never called an ambulance, and I did all of those things last night. I finally said to him, I feel like I'm dying. I don't know what is going on, and I don't know what to do. I was so scared. So we called an ambulance because I said, at this point, I don't even feel like I could ride to a hospital. I couldn't move. So the ambulance came. James was awake and crying again, and so we woke Isabella up, and she kind of snuggled with him and got him back to sleep. Jason called his mom so that even though she is quite a drive away, she's just, you know, the grandma who's there, and I think in his kind of panic moment, the first thing you do is call your mom, right? So she, like, in the middle of the night, she and Grandpa too both got in the car and headed this way. I was unaware of all of this. I was just trying to breathe. So the ambulance showed up, and two guys, I never even saw their face because I couldn't even get my face off the pillow. They took all my vitals, and they said, everything looks good. My blood pressure was good. They did an EKG, just like a partial one, because they were, you know, that's what they had. And they took my blood, you know, is it my glucose levels, to make sure I wasn't having like some kind of random weird, you know, gestational diabetes that just showed up. They took my iron level because I told them about the anemia. Blood pressure, finger pricks, like everything they could think of, and they said, all your vitals look great. So we have no answer for you. So obviously they recommended that I go into the emergency room. So once I heard I'm not dying, once I heard that I was having some weird thing, but that my heart and everything was okay, because that's what I was really concerned about, at that point, they offered to ride me in the ambulance to the emergency room. But even in my extreme state, I was like, dollar signs were going off in my head. I was like, well, if you guys think I'm okay, I think I would just rather have Jason drive me there. They said, yeah, that's fine. So we left for the emergency room. Grandma and Grandpa stayed with the kids for the rest of the night. We were there several hours. When we arrived, I couldn't even get myself into the van. Jason had to carry me into a wheelchair. It was ridiculous and so scary. And of course, you have to answer questions because they want to make sure you're coherent and everything. So I'm trying. I still am not. I'm just like not even able to look at people at this point. They immediately get us into a room, and this super awesome doctor comes in who was very helpful the whole time. And the nurses, everybody we had was fantastic. So he comes in, and they, start doing their thing with taking their vitals all over again, because that's just what they do. And he's going through, looking at everything, and again, everything is coming up fine. So then he, like, I probably should have Jason tell you all this because he would probably do it better than me. I was pretty out of it. But he, like, he tries to get me to sit up, which I'm kind of, they help me sit up. And he does this, like, thing moving my head. And immediately I'm dizzy and vomiting, just immediately. So he, in the course of all of this, has determined that I had what he called peripheral vertigo. And it's not, he said it wasn't the kind of vertigo that was like an ongoing thing that I would have to deal with. It was just kind of this unusual thing that was happening to me. Listen to that thunder. So my sun's going down. I gotta hurry up and finish talking to you while I still have light. So they put an IV in with, I can't even remember what it's called now. It was like an anti-nausea thing that's pretty common that they give to women who have extreme sickness during pregnancy. Anyway, they gave me that, and they gave me a whole bag of fluids, and within 30 minutes, my dizziness, my nausea, all of that was gone, and I was able to kind of prop up, and so they continued on with their testing, because, that's what they do. They did a chest x-ray, they did the EKGs, they did the finger pricks, they did blood pressure, and they did a full panel blood test on me. They did, more of the iron. I'm sure I'm missing something. They did a lot, and everything came back great. I'm healthy. So I just had to say,
pickle.
My little buddy came in. So,
take it off.
I just have to say praise the Lord, because it is a temporary, strange thing that happened to me. And as a result, I got to have all this testing done that I probably wouldn't have. And I've got to see that overall I'm pretty healthy. So the one thing that did come back...
Where will Isabella and me sleep on? All I have is my bare
You're really
blanket.
going to camp outside in the rain?
Yeah. It won't
I'll tell you about this in a minute.
Okay. I'm Kagami.
Look, James. So the one thing that they discovered when they... Oh, urine testing. I had that too. So what they discovered is that I had a yeast infection and the beginning of a urinary tract infection, of which I both had not caught either of those. So I guess it's possible that just the stress of that on my body, plus the tiredness of being up with these fussy, not feeling well kids, that all of that together could have caused this strange vertigo spell. So I'm just so thankful. Being in a situation like that where you feel so extremely awful and it's so scary, it just reminds me again of the reality that so many people go through, that so many of my good friends are going through with illnesses that are serious and ongoing, and it just made me feel really grateful. So, woo, it just started raining and blowing. This is crazy. Here, buddy, you want to munch on that while I finish talking real fast? So anyway, my kids had, because of the chicken pox, my boys can't go to Trail Life Camp that they've been looking forward to for months. Tomorrow is when Jason has to leave, because he is one of the leaders who are running the camp, and so he's going to go, and he's going to go for the Friday and the Saturday, and then come back Saturday night, he said, so that I'm not here too much with everybody. It's supposed to go through Sunday, but that's what he's going to do for me, because he's just so precious. So all I have to do for the next 2 days is keep everybody alive. That's what I keep telling myself. We don't have to achieve great things. We just need to stay alive. So, I'm not feeling 100%. I'm really dragging and my bones are achy, but it's me. It's 5 kids with the chicken pox and 2 others that had already gotten it. So we're just gonna hang in there. We're gonna stay alive. We're gonna try to have the most fun that we can have. They're gonna have pizza and movie one night. They're wanting to sleep in the tent in the rain. They're having all the camp experience. So it's gonna be interesting. I'll check in with you and let you know how our weekend's going, our survival weekend. So there's my story. Thank you for listening. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.